Good morning to all of you on this beautiful fall morning, and welcome to all of you to Patrolman Phillip Cardillo Way. On a spring day in 1972, Phil Cardillo answered a 1013 call, a cop needing immediate assistance. Now, after more than 4 decades, we are answering his call. It's incredible to me that it took 43 years, that today's ceremony and last summer's harbor launch dedication are truly the first public memorials honoring Phil, a cop murdered in the performance of his duty. The world is a different one than it was 4 decades ago. From 1971 through 1973, we lost 26 officers in the line of duty to gunfire and assault. 26 cops in 3 years. Many in the audience today lived during that period of time. Several of them were victims not of criminals, but of domestic terrorists. Piagentini and Jones, Foster and Laurie, Gilroy, assassinated by the BLA or its offshoots. But even in that violent age, Patrolman Cardillo's death was different. It reached well beyond this city to police departments and cops all across the nation. And it touched even a young patrol cop in Boston some 40 some odd years ago. It was a shame then, and it's a shame now, but today we take one step toward righting a wrong. Because it was wrong to give politics jurisdiction over an active crime scene. It was wrong then that neither the mayor nor the police commissioner attended Phil's funeral. It was wrong to allow political pressure to interfere with the murder investigation. It was wrong to take what was deemed at the time to be the easy way out and just wish it all away. In law enforcement, we have a common refrain when we're speaking of those who have lost. We say, we will never forget. After all, it's the very least that we can do to keep the memory of our heroes alive. In Phil's case, the cops never forgot, but official remembrance has been impeded for years. And today we say that was unacceptable. Today, as a city and as a department, we finally look all of you in the eye and say, we never forget. I want to thank Councilmember Alone and his staff for the work they did to make this ceremony today possible, and the legions of supporters, both inside the department and out, who never wavered. And today, finally, we hang a permanent reminder of Phil Cardillo, the cop, the husband, the father, and the symbol of what everyone who comes through this academy building strives to become, a selfless public servant and a hero. To the many recruits and cadets in the line farther down, facing this building, as you enter this building every day, never forget Phil Cardillo. Never forget what he meant to this department as you begin your careers. Phil's life is a reminder of where this city and this department was, of how far we've come, and indeed of how far yet we have to go. I'd also like to hope that justice will sometime in the future be served, since no one has yet served a day in prison for the murder of this New York City police officer. So we continue to work to right this other wrong, because we never forget. We're indebted to Patrolman Cardillo and all the other brothers and sisters lost in the performance of their duty. We're indebted to the cops who responded with Phil that day, Navarro, Padilla, Negron, Andre, and all the others who comforted their brother in his time of great need. We're indebted to the investigators who spent years searching for any ray of justice in the dark, never giving up. And we're also indebted to his family, his late wife Joyce, his children Kevin, Christina, and Todd, who is here with us today. Thank you for sharing your dad with us. You're all part of our family, just as your father is and will be forever. His memory will live on in our hearts and in our work, and whether it be 40 years or 40 decades, we will never forget. Because we have a debt to pay, a debt to Phil and all those who felt ground up and tossed aside by the political machine. It's 43 years too late, I know. Many people in many ways over many years have failed you. You deserve better. Patrolman Phil Cardillo deserved better. And as police commissioner of this great city, in this great department, I can promise you one thing, that we the cops never forgot, and we'll never forget. Our department's motto is Fidelis ad mortem, faithful until death. Phil Cardillo fulfilled it, but we the survivors must remain faithful to him after death forever. He lives on in this memorial, on this street, and every future generation of the NYPD will come to train, to learn, and to remember. We will meet again and again to celebrate his life, and continue to fulfill our commitment to you, his loved ones. May God bless Phil. May God bless his family and his fellow members of the department. And I find it somewhat ironic in a poignant way that those of you from the 28 Precinct, that here we are on 28 Avenue in Queens. How poignant that is, that Phil Cardillo Way will be on 28 Avenue, a reminder of the 28 Precinct where he spent his time. I'd like to also thank the many dignitaries and officials who are here today and family. We certainly have Councilmember Paul Vallone, who contributed so much to having this finally happen. Cardillo family members, Todd Cardillo, his son, Bobby Cardillo, his cousin, Phil Vito Navarro, retired, Cardillo's partner, Patrolman Victor Padilla, retired, former 28 Precinct, family member of Patrolman Ivan Negron, retired, former 28 Precinct, Detective Rudy Andre, retired, former 28 Precinct, representatives from the 28 Precinct, Detective Randy Jerkison, retired, author of The Circle of Six, PBA President Pat Lynch, DEA President Michael Palladino, Public Advocate Letitia James, Queensborough President Melinda Katz, Congressmen Joseph Crowley and Peter King, Assemblyman Michael Semenovitz, Assemblyman Edward Bornstein, our Community Board 7 here in Queens, and to the Blue Knights Chapter 10 Motorcycle Club members who have been there so often for Phil. Thank you all for being here today to fulfill that promise we will never forget. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Bratton.